Hey, nice to see you this morning. It's Miss Laura at Bartlesville Public Library here for a weekly virtual story time. Ready? Hello friends, how are you? Hello friends, how are you? Hello friends, how are you? How are you today? I want to remind you that you can now sign up for summer reading program, Oceans of Possibilities this year. You sign up on the Beanstack app or website. We've got all the information you need about that on flyers at the library, on our website, on our social media, also the full schedule of events for children and teens. Lots of fun things going on this summer. We're going to start with a book. Did you ever feel like maybe the people in your family or your friends baby you too much just because you're the youngest? I wouldn't know because I was the older sister, but this is about little Red Henry. He's the baby of the family, and he's ready to do things all by himself, but will his family let him? Written by Linda Urban, pictures by Madeline Valentine. There's a picture of the family. That must have been right after little Red Henry was born. Just a little baby. Ever since time began, Mama and Papa, Mem and Sven, had loved and cuddled and smooched and squeezed their little red-headed Henry. They had made his breakfast, picked out his clothes, and ferried him here and there. And if he hadn't gotten so big, he might never have known the feeling of the earth under his feet. They had carried him about so. Frankly, little red-headed Henry was sick of it. "I'm not a baby," said Henry. "Of course you're not," said Mama. "Now sit down in your itty-bitty chair and let Mommy make you breakfast." The rest of the family was not to be outdone. "Let me," said Papa. "Let me," said Mem. "Let me," said Sven. "No, thank you," said Henry. "I can do it myself." And he did. After breakfast, Mama swooped in low and said, "Let Mommy brush your little toofers." The rest of the family raced to the bathroom, elbowing and calling dibs. "Let me," cried Papa. "Let me," shouted Mem. "Let me," hollered Sven. "No, thank you," said Henry. "Pretty please," whimpered Papa. "Just the molars." "I can do it myself," said Henry. And he did. It seemed like a good time to visit his friend Gibson. Henry went to his bedroom to get dressed. As usual, his clothes had been laid out for the day. "I'd prefer something else," said Henry. "Something sporty," said Papa. "Something snuggly," said Mem. "Something snazzy," said Sven. "I can choose my clothes myself," said Henry. And he did. Henry headed next door to his friend Gibson's house. "Oh, let me call Gibson's granny and make arrangements," cried Mama. "Let me," said Papa. "Let me," said Mem. "Let me," said Sven. Can you guess what Henry said? "I can do it myself," he said. He was already knocking with his own bare knuckles on Gibson's front door. All day, Henry and Gibson played in Gibson's backyard. They pushed each other on the swing and crafted castles in the sandbox and commanded robot armies. They teeter-totted and monkey-barred and triumphed gloriously on the battlefield. It was amazing. At supper, Henry poured his own glass of milk without spilling a drop. He cut his own lasagna and buttered his own bread and proudly devoured every detestable pea on his plate. Well, the rest of the family had no appetite. They were listless, adrift, without Henry to do things for. They had no purpose. What are we to do? They asked one another. What do you want to do? Asked Henry. Well, said Mama. There might, said Papa. Be something, said Mem and Sven. All evening long, Mama, Papa, Sven, and Mem, and Henry practiced and painted and tapped and typed. They waltzed and wallpapered and scribbled and scratched. It grew very, very late. Henry went upstairs. He put on his pajamas all by himself. He brushed his teeth all by himself. He climbed into his bed all by himself. He was all by himself. Could somebody please tuck me in? Oh, said Mama, of course. Let me, said Papa. Let me, said Mem. Let me, said Sven. You can all tuck me in, said Henry. Tonight, anyway. Mama and Papa, Mem and Sven, loved and cuddled and snuggled and squeezed their little red-headed Henry. They fluffed up his pillows, tucked in his covers, and wished him sweet dreams, and sang him a long lullaby, most of which he did not hear through his own soft snores. The end. That was fun. All right, let's sing a song. How about, I'm looking out the window here. I keep looking out. It's so beautiful outside. A nice sunny day. So I want to sing, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Let's play peekaboo. This is the peekaboo game that we do in Storytime here at the library. So, touch your ears, pat your nose, tickle baby's little toes. Hide your eyes, where are you? Baby's playing peekaboo. You could say your name, so I'll do me. I'm Miss Laura. Touch my ears, pat my nose, tickle Miss Laura's little toes. Hide my eyes, where are you? Miss Laura's playing peekaboo. All right, here's another story about just kind of frustrated feelings, kind of like little Red Henry just was tired of being babied all the time. This is about a little girl that wants to be wild and free like a tiger. It's called Tiger Wild by Gwen Millward. And I think this little girl is with her babysitter in the book. Have you ever had a babysitter come while your parents or your regular grown-ups had to go somewhere? This little girl has a babysitter named Penny. Tiger Wild. Look at that mess. You see the mess? Lily said, Tiger did it. Tiger is very naughty, said Penny. Where is he? Hiding, said Lily. And it was true. Penny couldn't see Tiger anywhere. But Lily knew he was there. The next day, the special strawberry fairy cakes... Wait, let me start that again. The next day, the special strawberry fairy cakes Penny had baked disappeared. And then something happened to Penny's knitting. "Did Tiger do that as well?" asked Penny. "Yes," said Lily. "And he isn't sorry," she added, which was true, he wasn't. "Well, Tiger is very naughty and will go to his room until he says he's sorry," says Penny. Tiger was listening. He didn't like to be told to go to his room. That was when he decided to do something really naughty. "Come on, Lily," roared Tiger. "Let's run away and have some fun. We can do anything we want. We can be wild." Lily knew running away was bad, but she did it anyway. After all, it was Tiger's idea. She tiptoed out of her bedroom and packed a bag of important things: a sandwich, a carton of chocolate milk, a pair of binoculars, and a map so she could find her way home. "Let's go," shouted Tiger. "Let's stomp and jump and make a mess." Tiger wanted to do everything. So they did. They stomped through the long grass, and they jumped in muddy puddles and made a big mess. Being wild was fun. Tiger and Lily felt free. "Follow me, Lily," said Tiger, leading her deeper into the wild where the bushes grew thick. Sometimes there were big scary things, and Lily was glad to have Tiger, who was never afraid. But other times, she wished he wasn't quite so roarsome and wild. Sometimes Lily wanted to be quiet and still. On and on they went, and Lily began to feel hungry. She reached into her bag for her sandwich, but it wasn't there. Tiger looked at Lily. Lily looked at Tiger. And then Lily realized her sandwich was in Tiger. So were the chocolate milk and the binoculars, and worst of all, the map. "I'll never find my way back," cried Lily. But Tiger thought that was a good thing. "We can be wild forever," he roared. And then Tiger did something really, really bad. He ate Lily's shoes. "Stop it, Tiger! You're too naughty! Go away!" shouted Lily. She didn't want to always be like Tiger. She didn't want to be wild forever, so she ran. Lily missed Penny. She knew Penny would be missing her too, even if she was still angry. It was getting dark. Scary night things were about. The wild was getting wilder, and Tiger was nowhere to be seen. In fact, Tiger didn't even seem to be there at all. Suddenly, Lily heard a rustle in the grass. But it wasn't Tiger. It was Penny. They hugged, and then hugged some more. "Tiger shouldn't have taken me into the wild without telling you," said Lily, "and Tiger is sorry." And he was very sorry. "He's sorry for being so naughty too," said Lily, and he was very, very sorry. "Can we go home now?" asked Lily. So they did. Penny wrapped Lily in a big blanket, and Lily wrapped up Tiger next to her. After that day, Tiger and Lily did sometimes go to the wild together, but they never went for long, and they never went without telling Penny. And sometimes Penny went too, because there's a time to be quiet and still, and a time for everyone to be wild and free. The end. Alrighty. Let's sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider. No spiders around, I hope. I have to tell you, my friend Kayla, another librarian here, yesterday morning here at the library, she came running out of the workroom saying, Laura, help! There's a spider back here there's like a closet back there. and she's really afraid of spiders. And so I went back to help try to capture this. I was going to try to capture the spider and take it outside. But when I walked in and saw how big it was, I was so afraid. It was huge. I tried to catch it with a cup so I could take it outside, but it got away from me and ran back up inside the wall. So I think it was a nice spider, even though it was bigger than I expected. I think it was a nice spider. And anyway, woo! Where was I going with that? Let's sing Itsy Bitsy Spider. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. Then the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. All right, our last book by Audrey and Don Wood. This is 3 little short stories all about Piggy Pie Po. He is so funny. What will this piggy do next? That's what it says on the back of the book. Piggy Pie Po, 3 little stories. Story number 1. Piggy Pie Po likes to dance. When he wears his party pants, if he wears his rubber fins, Piggy Pie Po swims and swims. When he wears his yellow coat, Piggy Pie Po likes to get on his boat. If he wears his working shirt, he'll be digging in the dirt. But when he's ready for the tub to splish and splash and rub-a-dub, Piggy Pie Po wears no clothes. Only bubbles head to toes. Story number 2. See that big number 2? Piggy Pie Po is so smart. He can do the finest art. He can beat upon his drums while counting backwards 10 to 1. Every book upon his shelf he can read all by himself. For a penny he will spell pistachio and pimpernel, but there's one thing he can't do. Piggy Pie Po can't tie his shoe yet. And story number 3. No one was home at 9:30 when Piggy Pie Po came to dine. He ate a peach, he ate some plums. The lemon pie is now only crumbs. He spilled the soup. He didn't care, he got it in his piggy hair. He tromped upon the yummy cake. And then he made a big mistake. Do you know what that is? That is a very hot and spicy pepper. He ate a pepper. So hot, so red, he ran straight home and went to bed. Poor Piggy Pie Po. The end. All right, that's the end of virtual story time. I'll see you next week. Thanks.